So, hello everybody.
Hi,
Hey Ollie,
it's
we
us
we are
again.
back
We're back.
as promised. We are back, and we want to talk about our music.
Yeah, our weekly talk.
Yeah, just talk about instrumental music in general, and
Jazz-related instrumental music.
exactly
Particularly.
improvised music and composed music.
Mhm.
That's what we that's what we do basically.
Yep. Guitars and
So
the rest of it.
yeah, I think I try to share this. Here is our live talk.
Let's talk about
Yeah, I have to mute that. And I'm gonna share this so maybe somebody can join us and see this. There it is. So, so tonight we want to talk about one of your tunes, right? About Avatar.
Yes, one of mine again.
Yeah, which I think is a really
maybe
nice
somebody can
tune.
join us and
Oh, there it is again.
Yep.
So the first time we do this on YouTube, so we have to learn a little bit.
Oh, there's a ghosting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we are. So I really have to say I like this tune really a lot because that groove is so cool, like that introduction groove. So how did you come up with that actually? Can you play that once?
It's one of the first I came up with, right? When we founded that band. And well, as always, I was thinking about okay, what would I like to hear from that band? If I was in the audience and they were on stage, what would they play that I'd like to hear that pleases me? And it was certainly not another 8-minute funk jam. you know, we've had too much of those already. And it was certainly not some smooth jazz tune that just soothes me, but is somehow vain and empty. You know what I'm talking about. So I thought, okay, what could that be? Does it have to be in 4/4? Really? No, it doesn't. and well, this is a kind of rhythm that has interested me for many years, because I think the next thing to 4/4 um, is 3/4 in terms of being approachable by everybody, right? It may be even more natural than 4/4 actually. If you listen to all kinds of folk stuff all over the world, the 3 rhythm is actually more present than the 4 rhythm or the 2 the rhythm. I don't know why that is, but it has a very special appeal that kind of gets everybody. But it's difficult to make any kind of pop music or pop related music or funk related music or anything with a 3 rhythm. It's not as easy.
It's not as common also, so it's yeah.
Not at all. And so I came up with something like, okay, and from there it was only a small step to varying to some variation, and it went like. And here's your intro.
Great, great groove. I really like that, and so that yeah really got me because it's so fun to play on it also. Like to and I was like, was there any inspiration like another band you heard or something?
Oh, not at all. This
Uh-huh.
this whole thing. I mean, there's a thing with me with a 3/4 rhythm. I don't know what it is. I've thought of that myself. Did I listen to some stuff in 3 when I was young or what? But I don't know.
Mm.
Just feels so natural to me.
Yeah, I mean yeah, it's I think in Austria they really like 3/4. So, but that's already a
Yeah, but
while ago.
it's quite different. I mean, the worst thing is in this tempo. be that, but you know,
it's of course syncopated,
yeah.
and but it's still a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, opposed to like sometimes you hear also grooves like in 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's also a different thing, like
That's
the accents are different, but the 3/4 I really like it because it's also so fresh because you're used to improvise in 4, so all your lines don't work in 3 because it's not enough
well,
space.
it's totally it feels totally natural to go over that thing. I
Yeah,
don't know.
totally.
You don't have to count.
Yeah, not at all. But it's fun to play on it because it's something happens to your stuff when you play.
3
Uh,
is the odd meter that feels most natural. I
yeah,
don't know why.
absolutely. Yeah. And then you got this great melody. So uh, let's get that sheet on so everybody can see what we're talking about. So this is Avatar,
Mhm.
yeah, and so straight 16s, and this is the vamp, right, that you just played.
Original sheet.
Yeah, it's
There you go.
everything's there.
Yeah.
So we got this, and then it starts out with only piano, right, and then the band comes in, the drums come in, and there's just a little like single note guitar coming in. I just play some fills. Stuff like that, so just to fill it up, and then it's a really nice melody, like it's all like G minor, of course, based, yeah, and it's very very catchy. I think. Can you play that once that melody?
Yeah, kind of a smooth piano motive more than a real theme.
Yeah,
And here it changes to 4/4. Yes,
yeah,
he has to change to 4/4.
yeah. That's nice. That's really nice.
Chorus thing.
So how did you come up with that E flat minor major 7 chord there?
I don't know. It just came to my mind. I didn't think about it at all.
Mm.
About it at all. It was
Yeah, that's a nice color.
live because of there has to be an unexpected change or something. It just came.
Yeah. Mm. No, it's also pretty natural because you just keep that melody going, and it's the same motive, of course, and you choose a different color. Uh, and, uh, and of course that major 7 works well because it's the D, it's the fifth of G minor, so you continue, like you don't go that far out. You still have like the fifth, and but the G is gone. Yeah, the G goes to G flat. So, but the D is still there. So it's still kind of keeps the G minor thing, but it's a really great color. And also in the solo section, you got this, like at least where I play. It's really fun. It's really fun to play on this.
I mean, the obvious thing I think would have been to go to E flat major 7.
Right.
And maybe that was just too much.
Yeah. And it's a really nice color. I like it a lot. Yeah, great color.
Interesting, I guess.
And then also cool bit, you like this is pretty much the second A, right? You kind of start over, but then you go to G flat minor, like it's a half step up, which is really cool, I think. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
also a nice idea. It's just like
just
that's
developing that motive and pretty much staying with it instead of developing it into a whole overboarding melody, right?
Mhm.
Too much, I think.
That's very cool. Yeah. that's really a great move. Yeah. So instead of just you could have continued just this,
Yeah,
but
sure.
that's yeah. But instead of that, you just go up a half step.
Mm, mm, mm. And of course, that had to follow.
Yeah, we all like bass notes which go by half step, right? It's really cool.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
creative chromatics. That's the whole
Nice. Yeah.
staple of fusion music.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we go to the B section, and there's the guitar comes in with the melody and the piano, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Also, great contrasting section to the first one. I like that a lot. We go to 4, right? So how did you like? That was also natural just to get to
Yeah,
the 4.
of course, I'm always looking for a logical solution. Or if I get the feeling we're kind of getting like butter on butter, and that's something I don't like, then I break. Then I'm searching for a whole different contrasting section that gets you out of your comfort zone when before you fall asleep.
Maybe we can't take too much of 3/4, so that bam, there has to be some 4 time. Yeah,
Yeah, I could
very
have. Of
cool.
course, you could come up with a chorus section that's in 3/4 too, but actually it's stronger if you change it to 4/4. That feels very familiar to everybody. I'm sure a lot of people don't even notice it.
Yes, it's really natural. It's not something that feels like you forced it into the tune. It's really natural because the melody just works so well in the 4. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, it's nice.
Right?
Really cool. And there is the E flat major 7, right? That
Yes,
you
yes.
didn't want to use like in the A section. There it is, the E flat major. That's cool. Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, and then there's like you could have gone to the solos right there, but there's still one more section. It goes back to 3, and we got this. Yeah, which is really cool. It's like a little like attachment to the B section. It's not like a real new section, right? It keeps going.
It's just the end of the chorus.
Yeah.
And here you go with your solos.
Yeah. It's tough to play together on Zoom, but anyway.
Yeah, this is not working, but I'm sure they're working on it.
Yes. Yeah, that's a really fun part to play over, yeah? Because that's yeah.
Yeah, that's the most interesting part. The your note choices on that odd E flat minor major 7.
Yeah, that's
What do you do with it? Of course, I mean the scale is pretty clear.
yeah, it's gotta be melodic minor.
Yeah, but of course, it's up to you which notes you pick and which ones you leave out.
Of course, yeah. I mean, there's for melodic minor, all the arpeggios work great.
Yeah,
Like, you can do the minor major 7. Yeah. Or you can do the arpeggio from the 3rd, where you got like a minor major 7 sharp 5 sound. Not a major 7 sharp 5, I mean. So basically, it's like you start from the 3rd, from the G flat, and you got this. Yeah, it's out of tune. So you got the 9, you got the F,
Actually.
And that's a really nice sound. I like that a lot. So, or basically you could see it as like if you would just instead of the E flat from the E flat minor major 7 arpeggio, you play an F instead of the E flat. Yeah, instead of the E flat, you play.
Right.
You substitute the.
That sound.
And that's something I really like, yeah. So it's more, I like that arpeggio sound.
Your third or fourth chorus, if you think it's getting too much with that sound, or you need a change, you could just play F minor pentatonic. I do that from time to time.
That's also very cool. That's right.
I was waiting on that thing again. This one. And so sometimes it's good to do things like that. Right?
That's very cool. That's very cool, right?
It starts on the second grade. And it's just a minor pentatonic on that. And you can
That's
even
right.
go with some chromatics like a bluesy sound, and it would it sound like, right?
That's very cool. I never tried that actually. That's really nice. Great sound.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Kind of modern jazz then.
Yeah, that's very, very nice. Play F minor on this.
Maybe Hancock would do, or Chick Corea would do. So
Yeah, that's really nice.
not a lot.
Yeah, so and after that guitar solo, we go right to the synth solo where you go back basically to that idea from the end of the A section, right? That's that idea. And you placed the solo section, right?
That's
Yeah,
on
it's really
for breaking it up. I mean, of course, the next soloist could go over these changes again and again. They repeat themselves very well. But I thought there has to be something different now. Okay, wake people up, right? Right, and go over it with a moog.
Great part, yeah. Also great, like a real mood change, right? From this, it's more smooth here, and here we go right into some stops for the band, and the synthesizer comes in. It's really cool, yeah. Yeah, and then it goes back to kind of like a similar mood than this one, right? But it's
Piano solo.
different changes.
That's actually hard to do. You wouldn't believe it, but it's hard to do. To take a solo the other way around, because actually the synth solo has a much higher energy, and the Moog of course has a very energetic sound cutting through the band. Then going back to a more filigrane, subtle piano solo over bass changes.
I think so. I think so.
Reverse engineering it's not that easy.
Yeah, because it feels like you really go down a little bit in dynamics, right? Because the synthesizer is so strong. That's right. Yeah, that's true. And so I think it's a great like a dynamic arc.
That's challenging. It's actually challenging to do that.
I think so. Yeah, but it's a great dynamic move, I think, for the tune to go like smooth, and then here is a contrast and go back. Yeah.
This thing, the synth solo, that again is it's all about your note changes actually. There's these two alternating chords. What do you do with them? There's a lot of possibilities, but what do you do? And sometimes I just feel like pentatonics, like. And then this thing. Anything that happens is E minor pentatonics, F minor pentatonics. This. But sometimes that just isn't enough, and then I come up with something else. Like, which would be the first notes, first five notes of a G major scale. Okay, and then I go a minor third up and do that on B flat. So
Very
there's
cool. Very cool.
a lot you can do with it.
Oh yeah, that's really fun. Yeah, to also try some symmetrical stuff, right? Or you move the same thing. Yeah, that's really cool. Very nice. Yeah, great ideas. I haven't thought about that F minor pentatonic. That's also, of course. Yeah.
You can also do would be this.
Mm.
Same
Yeah.
thing, just transposed to minor third. Right?
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, and then we go into the piano solo, which is kind of related a little bit to the B section, right? But not
Uh,
exactly.
it's kind of the chorus. Yeah.
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 Right.
And the logical thing after that is to use that to
Yeah.
put a cap on it.
Yeah. Really nice. I mean, it's really there's a lot of stuff in it, but it connects really well.
Mhm. I think that's our most traditional jazz number in a sense that you could always play that with a piano trio.
Right.
Work perfectly. I did that
Hmm.
in a jam session at the Vogler
Yeah.
with
Of
Tom and
course.
the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. That's something you can easily put like give the sheets out to the band and they can play that. Yeah. Oh.
With an advanced band, you can do that. Yes.
Yeah. Nice. Nice tune. Yeah. Then we go just back to the A section. We're gonna repeat that,
Of
and
course.
then we got this different ending, right, where we got that vamp where we got the drum solo from Arno.
Yeah. I mean, that's that's the climax of it all, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's really fun. I mean, for him probably it's also fun to play in three.
It's pretty short. It's only a few bars, but what he does with it is amazing. Really. Yeah.
Oh yes, he can. Uh, he puts a lot of notes in it, but it's really creative. I like that recording. Yeah, we did
Hmm.
great thing. Yeah. Very nice tune. Congratulations. It's really one of my favorite tunes to play. Yeah. Really, really fun to play on it.
Of
Yeah.
course, we could have produced a kind of smooth jazz thing with it pretty
Yeah.
easily. If we just evened it out a little, it would have been a perfect smooth jazz number for smooth jazz radio. But we didn't, and I appreciate it.
Yes, it's more. Yeah, it's also has more live character.
Yeah.
The way we play it, it's not overproduced. So
Now,
mm, yeah.
which brings me to my all-time favorite question: why do some people hate jazz? Some people don't. Some people appreciate jazz. For some people, it's their favorite music, and there has to be at least a grain of jazz in everything they listen to. And others
Mm.
don't relate to it at all, or even feel appalled by it. I've met some people who actually said, "Ooh, jazz! That's the worst thing. I'd rather be dead than listening to jazz."
Yeah, and
Is that
of course there's people like that, but it's just yeah what they used hearing. Yeah, what they used to hearing. So
vocabulary, of course.
if you don't have any relation to improvising or you can't relate to it. I mean, for me, I didn't grow up with jazz.
What did you?
Like I didn't hear jazz before I was maybe 16 or something. There was no jazz around.
Really?
Yeah. So I was into blues mostly, blues music, like, but more electric blues, like, yeah.
Jazz related.
It is, but it's, yeah, if you don't know anything about jazz, you have no clue that it is.
Hmm.
So, and I can remember times where some things were really difficult to hear for me.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I really didn't understand it. But it was, I started with stuff that was way too advanced. So, of course, there's jazz pretty much everybody can listen to, I think. Yeah. If you start with singers, maybe. If you listen to Ella Fitzgerald or Frank Sinatra, everybody can relate to that, I think. Yeah. Maybe for some people it's strange to hear like a trumpet section or something. If they are used to synth radio or something, like 80s style pop radio.
Okay. You know what I would recommend as a first step for a jazz novice? Count Basie.
Oh yeah,
If you don't get that, well, then you won't get jazz at all. Then it's not for you. Because
that's
that grabs me every time, right?
incredible band.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible band. Yeah.
Rhythm and the energy of it, it's how can you not relate to that? And actually, it's so blues related anyway. So
Yeah.
uh, if you ever listen to a blues record, you have to get this. There's
Mm,
no way around it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
My first jazz concert was much too much for me. I must have been around what, 8, and it was the Jacques Lussier trio, play Bach. If you
Hmm.
you know that stuff,
Oh yeah.
that was really advanced. That guy played hot stuff,
Yeah.
modern jazz
Absolutely.
of a Bach tunes. So if you don't know the tune really well, you just can't follow. And I was absolutely sure that what those guys did was I mean otherworldly, but I just couldn't follow.
Mm. I had that experience several times.
Hmm.
Like I remember there was a band playing fusion, and my former guitar teacher was playing there. Yeah, Tom Reif. And I went to that show. I was maybe,
Tom was your guitar teacher,
yes,
but you're the same age, right?
no, no,
No, I thought.
yeah, but he's a couple of years older than me. Yeah, but they had a fusion band, and I went there, and basically I didn't really get any of it. It was way too advanced for me because I never heard that music before. It was odd meters and all modulations and stuff. So I had no idea what they were doing, but it was somehow interesting. Yeah, I was like, "Man, I think this got something." Yeah, but I had no idea. So I went back and I bought like a Chicory Electric Band CD and I listened to them. And first, some of the stuff was also really too advanced for me. Yeah, for somebody who's like listening to 12 bar blues and there's like not much modulations going on except there's like goes up a half step or something. But it was just intriguing, I was like, but what are they doing? Like, how can you do this? Yeah.
Uh,
Um, and same way when I heard Gonzalo Rubalcaba,
yeah, man.
and
I mean,
and the whole show, I had no clue where one was.
nobody can follow this guy.
I I didn't just like I went there and I was like, okay, this is really amazing, but why? How can they find the one at some point?
It's so advanced in every sense. You can't even tell where the one is sometimes.
Yeah, I had no clue. Yeah. But I think, yeah, for me at least, it was intriguing. I was like, how does this work? Like how? Yeah. So I started just listening, and I listened a lot, and I think that's the clue. And some people are just intrigued by that music. They want to challenge their ear, I think. They hear something and they think, wow, this is, wow. I don't quite get it, but I I'm interested in it. I'd like to get it. I mean, some people they have no interest in like challenging their ear. they just they like to please their ear and just like to listen to stuff which, yeah, they can understand. And there's the other group of people, I think, yeah, they like to challenge their ears, I think. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think mostly, actually, it's down to a lot more reasons than I'd like to point out now. But there are just two aspects that I bring up now. The first thing is, if you listen to, if you think of jazz and say jazz related styles, as opposed to, which is not really true, as opposed to pop music, right? Um, then you'll find that the three main elements in music, which is melody, harmony, and rhythm, as everyone knows, um, are boiled down to very simplistic cliches in pop music. Melodies are not developed, they are just repeated motives, actually, most of the time. Of course, I'm not talking of a Bee Gees ballad, but most of the time it's just that it's a repeated motive over and over again, and also a chord structure is a simple structure that gets repeated over and over and over again, and the rhythm is the most simplistic thing of all. Is mostly right, and that's it. It won't change over the whole tune. The tempo won't change. Nothing will change, and a lot of people don't like to get challenged by changes.
Right.
They want to attune to a little snippet and then concentrate on themselves. They want to hum to it or
Yeah.
dance to it. So it's just music is just functional to them,
Mm.
right? It's about them, not about the musician that plays it. Actually,
And I also think it takes some, yeah, it takes some listening experience to hear a tune, and you can say, wow, I heard this before, this is this, yeah, and now they do this with it, yeah, to really be able to, yeah. Some people, I think, they just listen to the music and they follow it like this, yeah, and they don't really see, oh, this happened before, now they do this, wow, they do this, so they are just listening, and it's over, and they don't listen back or try to listen forward. What's so it's then it's just tough if you listen to jazz, because if you're just on this point, yeah, and you just forgot everything that came like 1 second before or something, you can't understand it. You have to really train your ear and be able to think in a little bit of broader spectrum, of composition and of musicianship, and I think it's not for everyone. Yeah.
right. The other aspect of the two that I'd like to bring up here is that jazz, at its core, is about improvisation. It is and always has been. But improvisation, of course, um, is only good if it's really an expression of your individual personality, and that, I think, is something that most people wouldn't even allow themselves, much less anybody else. And even if they concede that to an artist like maybe a great guitarist like you, um, those people would expect that you just repeat some cliches that everybody knows, some commonplaces, right? And not much more. Everything above that level is too daring for them, right?
Yeah.
They themselves would never do that because they're totally attuned to staying in the middle of the mainstream and not exposing themselves. But a good improvisation, if you think of John Coltrane or whoever, in jazz, good jazz music is always about giving yourself away. That's where real good jazz starts. and that's what they don't get. They just can't get that because it's so much out of their world. I guess a lot of us live in a very functional world, and we are, after maybe already in school, we are reduced to being a functional element of that world, and only musicians get so lucky to really expose and express themselves in ways that others can't or are not allowed to.
Oh yeah, it's a really interesting point. And I just, while you were saying that, I was remembering the first couple of like jam sessions I had where I tried to improvise. And I remember that I was like thinking, wow, I have no idea if this sounds any good. And you have to really be brave to just try it out, right? You have to be brave to say, okay, I'm playing now, and this is what I play. And I'm at the beginning, I'm not really sure, is this something that's, does it sound good or not? It doesn't matter. You just try to express yourself, and with the tools that you have, and you keep, of course, you keep evolving, and you get feedback from other people, and if you're lucky, they say, well, that sounds okay. Do you wanna come over next week and play with my band? And then, of course, then you were really lucky. But I remember those first couple of jam sessions where we tried to play some standards, and you tried to improvise. It was really like you had to be brave and try something. And I think this is really it's not for everybody, of course. Yeah.
Great to do that, really.
Mm.
Of course, you can play commonplace jazz, right? Take a tune that you didn't write yourself, and play it in a style that's been well experienced. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, there's a place for that. But to me, real jazz just starts on another level, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, you also compare yourself with all the greats that were before, yeah. And
You really can. I mean, you can never get as deep as Thelonious Monk did, for example. Can't be as unique and original as that guy was. Don't ever try. You'll just embarrass yourself.
of course, yeah.
There's a simple thing every musician can try. Just try to play 10 minutes just off yourself. By just this, close your eyes and hit a note on wherever your hands fall. So what do you do now? Right? Really try to play what you feel and not what falls to your hands as a well rehearsed cliche or so. Hard to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is
Guys like Keith Jarrett have all my respect for doing that, for playing a
absolutely.
concert just off themselves, not any other musicians, not a set list, not anything.
Absolutely. This is something, of course, you have to practice and have to like just keep doing, but it takes a lot of thought to get to that level, of course, because some people they think improvisation is like, okay, I just play something, yeah, but it couldn't be more wrong.
I don't know. Actually, improvisation is the most easy thing in the world because what we're doing now is improvisation. Right. So that's as natural as it comes, but to do that on an instrument and to express your soul with it is a different game.
Yeah, because you can say stuff which words never could.
Some people can do it with words, but only some.
Of course, yeah. That's really fun. Really interesting points, yeah. So,
Yeah, you know why I think German audiences respond so well to jazz-related styles, whatever, more than other audiences in the world, and I've
okay.
seen
I don't know.
because at least our generation, we grew up in a time when most people didn't really understand English. So
Hmm.
all the pop music they listened to was basically instrumental music.
Hmm.
The melody line done by a vocal, but they didn't really get the lyrics. maybe some words, and but most people just didn't understand it and weren't interested in it either. It was enough for them to hear "Don't Stop Believing." Okay, that's enough. Good, good, good. Okay, they get the hook line, and that's pretty much it.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, maybe that was the same thing for me actually, because of course I didn't understand much English when I first heard English music. You know, when you're whatever in, I don't know if you're 10 or 12 and you don't have English in school yet. So I think that a lot of times also for me music, I, I, I I concentrated on the melodic stuff.
Hmm.
The lyrics weren't that important. It's really true for me. Yeah, I can say that yeah, a lot of music I listened to, I just didn't really listen for anything that the lyrics were transporting because I was just not understanding anything. Just small bits and pieces, and then I understood it wrong because I yeah stuff like that. So that's an interesting point. Also, I think that's true for me too because I just I heard a lot of music and I really enjoyed music from a very young age. I really always liked music and I always spent all my money buying records. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, for me the melody was the most important thing and the harmony, melody and harmony, rhythm of course. But the lyrics, yeah, and I never wrote lyrics in my life. So and I also don't have any. I don't aspire to it. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe, yeah. There's still some time, but yeah. It's not nothing that I really, uh, yeah, feel the urge to do. Yeah, for me, always the melodic part is already enough. Yeah,
That's something I've seen quite often that uh, people that don't relate to jazz very well um, always search for lyrics in the music, and as soon as there are lyrics, they listen to that and not to the music.
that's
So they're
possible.
very words related, and
Mm,
well, that's that. Music is just some carrier for the lyrics to them.
totally possible. Mm. Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't thought about it like that. Yeah, even though I was always kind of. Sometimes I even felt bad that I didn't care about the lyrics that much because there was a guy sitting there. He really cared like which words to write, but I, I was content just listening to the music, just the melody and everything. So of
Right.
course later they changed, but
Pop art is enough. It's interesting enough sometimes.
that's right.
I've
Yeah.
heard the advice. If you can't relate to jazz, just try to follow one instrument of the band for a while, then you'll get it, right?
Right, right. Yeah,
Not too much to get the whole picture at first.
that's true.
Just
Yeah,
listen to the trumpet, or just listen to the bass, for example. What
yeah.
it's so interesting.
Yeah, and for me, also a big thing was really to listen to the great singers, to really get to know all the repertoire, and to get to know. In that case, the lyrics were important for me. I think to
And then
really get to know the standard. It's not just the melody. It's and the interpretations by the great singers. I think that's something that I would think that some people really can enjoy a lot. Like you listen to Ella Fitzgerald and all the great singers, Sarah Vaughan and yeah, whatever, Diana Krall, yeah, and Harry Connick Jr. and all those guys who sing and they transport like this other
Mhm.
um, thing that a lot of people can relate. And of course, if you yeah get shocked by listening to Chicoria play a standard, and it's hard to recognize the melody for somebody who's not trained, and then he starts improvising right away. Of course, that's and okay. Where's the song? So he's just playing something. Um,
I think you have to take your expectations down anyway if you're listening to stuff like Chick Corea and so on. I mean, of course it is advanced and it's quirky, even for a jazz listener like me. It's sometimes very quirky what the guy writes. So, well, but just listen to it and listen to it a second and a third time, and you'll get it.
of course, that's the key. So sometimes, I mean, I get so many students who want to learn jazz guitar, and they think they have to understand the music in
Mhm.
order to play it.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. You have to listen to it. You just, yeah, listen to it, and if you listen to it enough, you're gonna get it. You don't have to understand anything on a technical level. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's more you understand the sound of it. Yeah,
Uh,
and
yeah.
it's really funny that people, and that's also, I don't know where this came from really, that people, yeah, always think that jazz is something that's difficult to listen to or something, or it's complicated music. Yeah,
Actually, it's not. Actually, it's very relaxing if you can relax and just listen.
of course. Mm. Yeah.
You just have to listen in the moment, I think, and not have expectations to what's coming next or what's to
And
come.
of course, also to really listen to it. That's also something that I think got lost to a point because a lot of people they listen in the car, they listen while they clean the apartment, and they listen while they work. You know, I mean, if you work and you have, I see people sometimes they work and they have their headphones on and they listen to music. I mean, you can't listen to Keith Jarrett when you or whatever when you do have some complicated task. You have to listen to something which doesn't disturb you.
Like, for me, it's either one or the other. I can't work while listening to music, or even with music in the background. It's just disturbing me.
Well, yeah, it depends on the music. I admit I put on some music which is where yeah I can listen to it easily. Yeah, and I can, yeah, because I like music. So most of the time there's some kind of music going on. Yeah,
But in a lot of university libraries, and that's interesting, all over the world, they're playing jazz as a soft background music because they found that it's relaxing and focusing at the same time.
interesting. Yeah,
There's a free spirit mood to it that like opens your mind.
interesting. Mm. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case. Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see if anybody. And we have 2 likes anyway, but nobody ever asked us any questions. So
Yeah, I mean, we're
you're
gonna go.
welcome. You're welcome to ask anything. You can just interrupt us. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So if you watch this, just you can tell us if you like to watch us on YouTube or on Facebook.
If you have questions, just write, just comment,
Yeah,
chat with us.
exactly. But yeah, you can also suggest some topics we can talk about. But anyway, yeah, we're already 47 minutes long. Wow, not
Oh,
bad.
okay.
so, so I think we come back next week, right?
Why don't
Yeah,
we?
that was really interesting. I know. Anyway, I do this because I learned stuff from Oli. So
Oh, it's the other way around as well. It's always great to hear your point of view.
yeah, it's really fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
very cool. So, Oli, thanks. And we get together next week, same time, right? Thursday, 9 p.m.
sharp.
Middle European time, right? MET, 9 p.m. Whoever's watching, yeah, just join us
Yeah.
or yeah, let us know.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Okay. Have
See you
a
next week.
nice evening. Yeah. Take care.